every aspect of our livelihoods, to the point where they are now trying to privatize our very schools. The last thing the 1% has left to us to be publicly run. It's the last thing that we have control over as a public with the school board that's elected. It's the last thing that the public service that's guaranteed to all Americans, and they aren't satisfied with leaving even that for us. They've decided to come and privatize it, to take public taxpayer money and put them into schools that are privately run. That's the charter school.
Jobs and education, not for banks and corporations. Money for jobs and education, not for banks and corporations. Money for jobs and education, not for banks and corporations. Money for jobs and education, not for banks and corporations. Our streets, 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 our streets. Wars tax the rich.
How to fix the deficit?
And the wars tax the rich.
How to fix the deficit?
And the wars tax the rich.
How to fix the deficit?
And the wars tax the rich. And the wars tax the rich. And the wars tax the rich.
How to fix the deficit?
And the wars tax the rich.
How to fix the deficit?
And the wars tax the rich.
How to fix the deficit?
And the wars tax the
To the bank and chant that, and they know it to be true now. They don't yet know the solution. The bank managers and the CEOs don't yet know what to do about that fact. But we have a lesson plan here today to figure out what to do about that and what the impact of Chase Bank and the rest of these Wall Street banks has been on our communities across the country. We teachers here are part of an organization called the Social Equality Educators, or SEE. And we are a caucus of the Seattle Teachers Union, the Seattle Education Association, and we're proud to be part of the labor movement in here, Seattle. How many union members do we have in the house? Because when our unions get behind the Occupy movement, right, we heard in Oakland they're calling for a general strike on Wednesday against police brutality, for beating people who are marching peacefully, against the 1% taking all of our wealth. They're calling for a general strike to shut the entire city down and stop business as usual, stop the business of taking from the poor and giving to the rich. And so we've come with the message of the Robin Hood tax today, that we believe it should be the reverse. It's time that the 1% start paying their fair share and that the rest of us have services we deserve. It's time that we have the education we deserve. It's time that we have the health care we deserve. And when we get ready to fight for it, we are the 99%. They are the 1%. They won't stand a chance. I want one of the lead teachers here. Should we call him the star mentor? We don't like that program. Okay. Matt Carter of Orca Elementary, give it up. Orca K-8.
Hey, 99%, nice to be here with you all. If we get out now, there's people up front here holding signs that say 10%. So can we have those 10 people step forward in a straight line with their 10% signs? We're going to do a graphic visual representation of the distribution of wealth right now in the United States. So each one of these signs that say 10% represents 10% of the wealth here in the United States. Each one of these people holding a sign represents 10% of the population of the United States. As we have things right now, the wealth is equally distributed. Each 10% of the population has 10% of the wealth. Now let's go back to 1976, the year I was 9 years old, the age my students are. At that time, and Jesse, you're at the end of the line, so you get to be the rich guy this time. Jesse's, in 1976, the top 10% 50% of the wealth. So the first 4 people, you need to pass your signs down to Jesse, and you 4 need to come over here and share the 5 signs, the 50% that's left. So right now, 1976, we've got 10% of the population controlling 50% of the wealth. Sorry, Elena, you're over there with the 90% of the population that has the other 50% of the wealth. Now let's fast forward to today. Those of you, the 9 of you, the 90% that have 50% of the wealth, you need to take 3 of your signs, 30%, and give them to Jesse right now. Because he now has 80% of the wealth. The top 10% of the population owns 80% of the wealth, and the other 9 of you, I'm sorry, you're going to have to cram around the 20% here. This is all you get. Now, of course, we know Jesse works really hard.
He must be really smart.
He's really smart, and if only these 90% over here worked as hard and were as smart as he was, I'm sure they would be able to join them over there. So this 90% of the population is sharing 20%. 10% of the population has 80% of the wealth. Now Jesse's right arm is going to become the top 1%. And that one arm is going to hold 4 of those signs. That's 40% of the wealth. Imagine what he's having a hard time with it. You need to hire some workers, something there. Some porters or something. So his right arm represents 1%, the top 1% that controls 40% of the wealth. I mean, he's even got the 2 to 9% probably upset, the 2 to 10%, because they're looking, the 1% has as much as the next 9% have. Of course, they're doing all right. These are the folks, this is us over here, right? This is us right now, 90% of the population, 20% of the wealth. What do you think? Should we change that? Yeah. It's time to change that. Yeah. Robin Hood tax. Yeah. Let's do it. We've got the most regressive tax system in the United States here in Washington State. Our bottom 20% of wage earners pay over 17% of their income in sales tax because we do not have an income tax, so our tax system falls disproportionately on the shoulders of those who earn the least. The top 1%, Jesse's right arm over there, pays about a little over 2% of their total income in state taxes. So it's time to change that. Glad you're all out here. Hey, 99 to 1, we can't lose, right? All right.
Popcorn colored, unimaginative robotic optic illusions, confusion of the Mass Effect processors getting another great from the source of order, praising the puppeteering,